G'day and welcome to the box seat. I'm Pete Anthonus. It's good to be here to preview the return to Belmont Park as we get stuck into our 8-race card to resume proceedings. If we take a quick look at the forecast, the weather should be partly cloudy and 21 degrees. The rail is in the true position and I'm expecting a good 4-track. Race 1 at Belmont jumps at 12:37. It's the Specialism Western Race Picks Ascot Horse of the Year plate over 1,300 metres, and our horse in focus will have a look at the last start of Snippy Miss.
Left to go, led by a length and a half to Too Busy, One Interstate. A Gap Brave contender coming to the 200 though. War Saint shaken up, still hands and heels well clear. Looks as though he's got their measure now. He's 2.5 to 3 in front from Busy One battling away. Brave contender Interstate, but it's all War Saint. And War Saint goes on to win. Second Brave contender, third Busy One.
Lots of different form lines coming into this race. Quite a few of the horses are coming from a very slowly run race, which is what Mia Dolce managed to prevail in. But I'm happy to go with Snippy Miss at what looks like it will be an each-way price. And its first start was restrained back towards second last. It really only got going in the last couple of 100 metres or so. And I think that all things considered, it should be able to get itself into a bit more of a rhythm. The longer straight at Belmont should suit, and Willie Pike jumps on board. So it certainly ticks a few boxes there. So it can go on top from the 4, which is Red Can Man. Again, a horse that was well supported. It jumped pretty well. Got itself into a bit of an awkward spot on what was a muddling run race. I think it should be able to slot in with a bit more cover and a bit more momentum in this event. Third pick is the 2, Mia Dolce. Should be able to jump, find the front, and look, if it can control the speed like it did last start, it should be thereabouts towards the end, but I'm not expecting it to be as slow as last start. And then fourth pick is the 3, Kelvin, who again is coming from a different form line. We last saw this horse in the size Produce and was well supported on that occasion. I think from gate 3, it should settle the first 4 runners or so. In race 1, the 9 on top, Snippy Miss from 4, Red Can Man, 2, Mia Dolce, and 3, Kelvin. Race 2 at Belmont jumps at 1:17. It's the Tab Touch Better Your Bet handicap over 1,600 metres. And our horse in focus, we'll have a look at that first up performance of Money Maher.
Janika, it's the baldy-faced galloper in front. Look at Money Maher. He's starting to take ground off it very quickly. Anoski shows him the persuader. Further back is Showcase running on. Money Maher reached the lead with 100 to go from Janika. Showcase runs on now, but it's Money Maher in a wonderful return to racing. Money Maher comes away and scores.
It was obviously a very impressive performance from Money Maher first up. The trial was good and the horse came out. It was 3 wide with cover, had full momentum coming around the turn and just went past the rest of the field as if they weren't there. And I think all things considered, the horse should be able to do much the same in this event. I do enjoy that the horse has obviously found itself after being gelded in a rich vein of form, and it's lost none of its ability whatsoever. If anything, it's actually come back with a little bit more focus. So it can go on top for me. From the 2, Touch of Silver, again, I find it really difficult to find this horse out of the top couple of picks. It's running in such consistent form. It just seems to be taking gaps when they're available, but in this race with a wide barrier, it will probably float back towards the tail and can be running on very strong at the end. Third pick is a 3, Maginika. It's been leading so far this campaign for the Maley camp, and I think they'll try the same tactic again from gate 8. If it can control that speed, it is obviously the horse that they'll all have to get past in the end. And then fourth pick is the 8, Mrs. Brown's Boy, who got the job done for us last start at an each-way price. Again, it will probably be thereabouts in the first couple of runners, but this looks a slower tempo affair, and I'm happy to go with horses that have an established turn of foot late. So in saying that, 4 on top, Money Maher from 2, Touch of Silver, 3, Maginika, and 8, Mrs. Brown's Boy. Race 3 at Belmont jumps at 1:57. It's the Nick Troop Birthday Handicap over 1,000 metres, and our horse in focus will have a look at the first up start of Baron Bostock.
The track to start, it's run after these leaders. To Rise Again got the better of Pastry. Vina Waltz followed by Son of Bacchus. Dear Calder now, Son of Bacchus driving through in the middle, but To Rise Again with a kick at the 100-metre mark. It's To Rise Again in front, Son of Bacchus and Dear Calder now lunging at them. They'll come to the line. Oh, there's a great go.
Baron Bostock was first up, no trial, got itself into a good position, managed to pull out and was very strong through the line behind To Rise Again. I think that was a pretty pleasing performance, and I'm sure the horse will have benefited from the run. Again, it's got a wide gate in this event, but it will be probably back near the tail of the field anyway, just given the fact that there's a heap of speed in this event And so all things considered, it should be the strongest going through the line late. So at an each way price, Baron Bostock on top for me from 1 to Rise Again. I thought this horse was huge. It was racing outside the leader, but was still actually in front for most of that race. It seemed to be affected by a mid-race slowdown as well. It was just a huge performance, and all things considered, if it can find the front in this event, it is clearly the horse to beat for me. Third pick is the 5, which is Lido Beach. 2 starts ago, it was a massive follow. It was well supported and wasn't necessarily suited. Followed up last start with a soft northern wind, and then here it appears in a pretty reasonable spot from gate 3. So the horse does have claims. Fourth pick, I'll put in the 3, Catherine Will, who has drawn a bit awkward out there in gate 8. Will need to jump well and obviously roll across. Whether it leads or not, that's probably the question for me. In race 3, 4 on top, Baron Bostock from 1 to Rise Again, 5 Lido Beach and 3 Catherine Will. Race 4 at Belmont jumps at 2:37. It's the Amelia Park handicap over 1,000 metres. And our horse and focus, we haven't seen Battlestorm since last September, so we'll have a look at that last start way back in September at Belmont.
Behind them, Night Voyage, Royalic, gifted with a beautiful inside runner's Time to Trade shifts ground. Imperial Venus and Battlestorm is now being popped. The big question, 200 left to go. Time to Trade, Night Voyage found a split closer towards the inside. Imperial Venus, Battlestorm coming though together. It's Battlestorm on the outside, goes to Night Voyage, gets the head in front and is too good for them.
Battlestorm's only had the 2 starts so far. Both of them have been impressive. Probably the only query for me is it hasn't run in a genuinely fast race, and potentially that is what it might find here. There's about 3 or 4 leaders in this event, so if the horse doesn't get too far back, it should be pretty strong going towards the line. I guess no trial's probably a small query as well, but look, the horse does look to have a stack of ability, so it goes on top for me from the 2, Arafura. I think it's the best performed and best credentialed horse in this field. It looks suited by the inside gate. The horse is coming into the race at the best last start figure, so it does tick a few boxes for me. Third pick is the 8, Soitan Rapido. It was sitting outside the lead last start. It had a tiring leader on the inside and then had to kick. Obviously, it wasn't necessarily suited by that small slowdown. And again, the horse, if it can find itself in a good position from gate 6, does have claims. And then fourth pick is the 11, which is Sterling Estate. It's another horse that wasn't suited last start, suffering a mid-race slowdown. It does look to get into a slightly better position from gate 5, but it will have a fair few contenders up there joining it for the lead. On top in race 4 is the 7 Battlestorm from 2 Arafura, 8 Soitan Rapido and 11 Sterling Estate.